two sides who started with big opening day wins go head-to-head tomorrow lunchtime here on TalkSport. We'll focus on Tottenham, who head into the game fresh off the back of missing out on Eze to Arsenal. It led to a huge backlash from Spurs fans towards Daniel Levy, but Simon Jordan isn't so sure he's to blame.
You're assuming that it was a done deal, that it was an absolute done deal, that everything had been agreed with Palace, everything had been agreed with the player. This is the characterisation that we are being led to believe is the case, and I doubt it's like that. But for the purpose of those that want to bark at the moon and say Daniel Levy's an incompetent, let's just say that's absolutely right. If everything was agreed and the player was as happy as a sandboy and everyone had agreed their money and the clubs had agreed their money and the transfer deals had been structured in such a way, then Tottenham have failed. If it's actually more convoluted than that, that it wasn't quite agreed, that there was in the background an opportunity for Eze to talk to Arsenal that the agent knew about and that Palace knew about, and that Palace were not interested in where the player went, they were interested in getting the maximum they could from the deal, and they had an opportunity to play Arsenal against Tottenham, that's probably more likely how it is. Now, if you want to blame Levy, if you want to say Levy, well, Levy should have just gone in and bid 75 million quid and blown them all out of the water.
Do you know what? That's where I think Simon's at his best, when he's talking about players and contracts and buying and selling and dealing with agents. I think that's where he's got great expertise, having owned Crystal Palace. Now, Glenn Hoddle was on yesterday, and Glenn said he'd heard ages ago that Eze was going to Arsenal, not Tottenham. So maybe it's not as clear cut as what we're reading.
Yes, it can be, but
about that U-turn at the last minute.
For me, Havertz's injury and then Arsenal getting a deal done means to me that they wouldn't have gone in for him if Havertz was fit. Maybe they were happy with the squad of players that they've got.
He'd have been on their radar though, wouldn't he?
Yeah, with the radar, but maybe they wouldn't have wanted to go and spend the 65, 67 million that it's going to cost. And maybe Spurs taking their time a bit. But Simon will always defend Daniel, won't he?
Why?
His mate.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I know, mate, didn't you?
I didn't know that.
Didn't you? Okay.
Right, if you were a Spurs fan, would you be blaming Daniel Levy, Gab?
I would be, yes, because James Maddison got injured, missed out on Morgan Gibbs-White. You know, fans are upset with missing out on him. Maddison gets injured, go in there, get the deal done. You know what Crystal Palace want for the player? You're trying to maybe penny pinch.
Eze is an Arsenal fan.
I know, but wasn't Jamie Carragher an Everton fan and played for Liverpool? So players will put that to the side and go and play for the rival club. A lot of players will, so I don't think that mattered to him. If Arsenal were interested at the same time Spurs were, then of course Arsenal is going to be his choice. But at that time when Maddison got injured 22, 23 days ago, Spurs had a chance to get it done and they didn't. That's what frustrates
fans. Let me because Steve's went to talk as a Tottenham fan. And be honest here, Gab, if you're Eze, who'd you go to if you have the choice of Spurs or Arsenal? You're going to go to Arsenal.
Oh, of course you are.
Arsenal are a better side at the moment. At the moment, definitely.
They've finished runners-up 3 years in a row. They're closer to winning the Premier League. They're Champions League season after season. So, of course, you're going to pick Arsenal over Spurs, even if you wasn't a fan of Arsenal, let alone being let go by them at 13 and your favourite player was Thierry Henry. It all adds up to the perfect end to the story. Go and play.
Okay, let me take a quick call. Steve is a Tottenham fan. I'll be interested in what Steve thinks about this. Steve, very good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Steve.
Morning, Alan. Morning, Gabby. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to track down Del Boy, trying to get another signing. But anyway, my idea is that the transfer window was a bit closed in a few days, sticking to stuttering. Anyway, and the players that are out of contract might not have a look down there rather than spending 80 to 70, 80 million pounds on players who may not be playing in the Premier League. If it looks at the out of contract players, see which players are available, i.e. someone like Dele Alli, get him in, have a medical, make sure they're physically fit, and then they go for an interview and see what their motivation is. And rather than give them a long-term contract, pay him as a pay-as-you-play.
You want to go for a player that it's not worked for him in recent years. Latest club, Como, it's not worked for him. I'm sure Spurs fans love Dele Alli, but I don't think he's the solution, mate.
Well, there might be others, Gabby, mightn't there?
Yeah.
There might be others, right? Players that, you know, have been let go by their club for one reason or another. You know, we're getting near the end of the transfer window, And I mean, we're going to be scratching around or panicking, and players have got. Clubs are going to put their prices up because they know we want to
Well,
buy
Steve,
stuff.
that transfer window is very interesting, right? Very interesting, because I'm a great believer. When the season starts, that's it till
Sure,
January.
I agree.
All this nonsense, upsetting players, upsetting managers, coaches, especially managers, right? You suddenly lose one, maybe two of your best players. What? All that pre-season, that planning is out the window. Why did they do it? Why don't they just say, right, first game kicks off a Friday night, bang, that's it. Transfer window shut till January. Right, let's say a
used to
very
be,
good.
didn't
And honestly, let's say a very good morning. Former Tottenham West Ham manager Harry Redknapp joins us. Harry, good morning, Harry.
Gabby, good morning.
Good morning, Harry.
Harry, have you had your morning swim?
No, I'm not this morning. No, I think it's a lovely morning. I could have gone, but no, I think they were in a bit early this morning. And as I was going to speak to you lads, I cancelled it. But I think they were in at 6:30 this morning, so it was very early.
Wow.
Wow.
My problem with down that beautiful part of the world, Harry, is you're getting some riffraff like that coming up there.
Gabby was down here. We had a coffee the other morning. It was great to see him.
Yes, my pleasure, mate.
Into the paddle tennis, isn't he? You know, they're all playing this. This seems to be the new thing now. Take it off.
Gabby, he says it's a great part of the world, Harry. I've only been there a couple of times. It does look
Yeah.
beautiful. Anyway, moving on, right? So 2-year-old clubs.